This is the G Shit Podcast, where we focus on family, friends, finances, freedom, and our future, and everything else. You heard? This is the G Shit Podcast, and today we featuring Sean Texas Wilson. Let's get into it.
Absolutely.
Taking no talk back. You see me blink yet?
Y'all already know what it is. Once again, this is the G Shit Podcast, where we focus on family, friends, finances, freedom, and our future, and everything else. This is the G Shit Podcast. And today we got the plug in the flesh himself joining us live, Sean Texas Wilson. Homie, I appreciate you joining.
Man, hey, first of all, if that wasn't the dopest intro.
Let's go.
That was nuts, bro. That was dope. I feel like you played the whole instrument on that whole thing. Only because I got a backstory, bro. I remember the first time I walked in your apartment on some other stuff. We was in college. I know you're going to remember this, but you probably never thought about it again. Bro, I came in, I seen music instruments, I seen the guitar, I seen you on that drum. I'm like, bro, you play instruments? Man of all mysteries, bro. Flash forward, still man of all mysteries, man. Going on. How you feel? I appreciate you for having me, though.
Hey, man, I would say that's a pretty accurate way to describe myself. Man of mysteries. I don't tend to let people see a lot of what I do behind the scenes. So me and you had that sort of connection, man. We linked back in those Winston days. Appreciate you hopping on, man, because this platform does focus on those 5 F's. And I think, you uniquely fit your story, what you've overcome, just the family element, so many just personal stories that I really like to hear your perspective, because I know it's real and authentic. And having seen the growth from that moment, say when you stepped in my apartment in Winston to now, where beautiful family in the background, beautiful home you sitting in, bossed up in your own office as such, like bossed up moves, man. So shout out to you, man, because the growth is definitely there. And I can't wait to get into some of those details just to let people learn from what you're doing. But, man, I really appreciate you joining.
Bro, listen, absolutely, bro. I appreciate you. If you want to toss flowers back and forth all night, we can, bro. I'm going to save mine for the end because I'm not used to it. I'm just one of them people. Somebody say something about me, they're most likely somebody I know from any kind of way of where I've been in life. So if they seen me grow 9 times out of 10, I seen the same in them. So I give it right back. But honestly, bro, when you reached out, I laugh a lot because my story is crazy, but it's not something that I would ever have painted for myself. It's not something that I would paint for anyone else. It's different. It's almost like when you look at it from the beginning, it's painful to watch, and this is me. I talk about it all the time, like depression is real. You get to a point where you don't really see a way out, and then you start to believe the voices that you hear around you of who you are. And just really accepting that I actually have a wild story, and it's turned out to be the best ride of my life so far is legit, and from that one can obtain a lot of knowledge, and I believe that I have, and I love talking to especially friends and family who I know have seen me from different stages in my life to now, and it's just a beauty to just reminisce and be thankful about where God and only God has brought me,
That is a fact. Far, That is a fact. That is a fact. I don't have a particular order in which, how we're going to let things go, but I just want to get right into the plug in the flesh. I see it on the chest, see it on the hat. Like, talk to me a little bit about what that means and what it represents.
Absolutely. Okay. The backstory of Plug in the Flesh is interesting as well. As you know, I have 5 children, 18, 14. Well, I'm sorry, 15, just turned 15, and age 4. My children, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. My children, I tell them all the time, me personally, I didn't have a trade growing up. I only had basketball, and I understand it. It was no way I thought that I wasn't gonna make it in sports. As crazy as that sounds, but I couldn't cut hair. I didn't have a figure around to teach me how to change the oil. I wasn't working on cars. I wasn't, these are things that, that last for a long time. Trades that come down from, my pa was a carpenter. I'm a carpenter.
Right.
I wasn't watching cars. Nobody gave me a hustle. I remember burning CDs, but I say all that to say, I wanted to show my kids how to build a hustle. And I wanted to show them how to build a brand. So together, I told my son, I said, I'm gonna show you how to build a brand. We're gonna start a clothing line. And I came up, this is real, and I'm very proud about it. I came up with Plug in the Flesh. And what Plug in the Flesh means, everybody, when they hear the word, I got a plug, their mind gravitates and goes one way. I don't know what way that is, but usually it's drug related, illegal related. But the thing is, I got plugs in every city that have nothing to do with illegal activity. You know what I'm saying? I got
Talk about it.
In Kannapolis, North Carolina, I got a car plug. That's my guy.
Necessary.
He fixed, tell him, he fixed cars, he sell cars. He got everything you need from a tire to, and if he can't do it, he know who can. That's my car plug. I got my barber plug. And when I say barber plug, it's not just him. In every city of North Carolina, wherever you at, he's connected to a association of barbers. I can hit him right now and be like, yo, I'm in Raleigh. He gonna be like, shit. I know you got to give me at least 2 hours ahead. I said, bro, look, I got 2 hours. I'm going to be here for a minute. All right, I'm going to hit you right back. He hit me right back. Yo, put this address in your phone. My man said, be there. Make sure you're there at 4. He is connected to barbers all around North Carolina.
Yeah.
Whatever city you in, he can make it happen for you. You're going to get you a good cut. And he the nicest in our city, but that's called a plug. When he can help you out wherever you at. That's a barber plug. My wife, she got a hair plug. Whenever she need whatever she need for her hair, for her lashes, for whatever she got one girl, she got everything great quality, and it's for the cheap. That's a plug. So what Plug in the Flesh is, all of those people that I just named, G, they put on a hoodie and they out in public. This has happened to me plenty of times. I put on a hoodie, I put on my hat, I'm out in public, I'm chilling, I'm doing my thing. People come up to me, they say, hey man, that's dope, bruh. What does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm a barber. I cut hair. And I give whoever I am, whatever I'm doing as an entrepreneur, however I'm getting it, I immediately give them the spiel of what I got going on. Is free promotion in a sense. People have asked me 100, at least 20 to 30 times while I'm out since I've started the brand a year and a half. What does that mean? Right. Or how can I get one of those? And then you immediately go into your spiel, whoever you are, it's free promotion. It works. People told me, I know it works because people tell me that they've told people where to order on the website and how to get them. So I know it works. It's a promotional skill. Also, it was a way for me to show my children how to generate income from nothing. We started printing them up on our own. I made the logo on my own right here in my own house. We started printing them up. I showed my children how to print them up. We started giving them away for free because it's hard to charge. I showed them how business works. It's hard to charge people for things that they've never seen and the things that they might want, but they don't know yet. You gotta make them understand how legit it is. So we printed up, put our own money in, printed up a bunch, about 30, 40 of them, went out, gave them to our closest friends. We wasn't just giving them to strangers. We was linking up with our friends. Yo, bro, I got something for you, bro. Out of nowhere, they started putting them on, start trending, start taking pictures, people asking where they from. The orders started coming in. We start together. This is what I did. We all doing this together over a month, 2 months time together. Started the website, started orders coming in. They then started printing up shirts, shipping them out, seeing the residuals come in. They said, it's that's how Plug in the Flesh got started, and something that I took and I just wanted to show them how to obtain money for themselves, what regardless of what it is. If you have an idea, it actually started generating real money. People everywhere, Chicago, Minnesota, I'm shipping out at least 2 a day. Now think about it. People think about, hey, bro, you only shipping out 2 a day.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. That's tough. That's tough to do consistently.
365 days of the year.
Yeah, that's tough to do consistently. Yeah.
Not talking about the 3 and the 4 that might come to 5. You know. So
yeah. Hey, look, we might have to give them a special G pod discount code after this one. Absolutely. Right here. We're gonna have to give the people something for watching, man. Because the Plug is in the flesh himself.
I appreciate you. Entrepreneur G putting it all together. Look at him.
Hey, man. So I got to highlight, okay, whole idea came from the family dynamic, wanting to help enlighten your children on real life business and how to take a real idea and then create something behind it. So respect, because I know we got tripped up when we was going through. And I don't even know how you kept up with them ages so well, but I got to ask one more time because I got to get it clear because I know you got a lot going on.
Whoa.
But okay, give me those ages of your children.
All right, we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do it like this.
There we go.
All right, we got. They was 16 in this picture.
Okay,
so this was
they was 16 or
they was 16. They 3 of them was 16. We gonna get straight into it since that's where you want to go. Okay. I got my son Jamari, my son Anthony. He's my oldest son. I had him first. I was 17 years old. My other son, Jamarion, after Anthony, he's the second oldest. I had him second. I had him when I was 17. He is now 18 years old. My daughter, Alasia, I had her when I was 18. She is also 18 years old. Since you want to go into how life was so, before I finish, let me finish my children that I had when I became a little bit more conscious of life. This is my son, Cameron. He's 15 now. He's the one holding my daughter, who is 4 now. Those are the ages. That's my son, Cameron, who I have with my wife, who's 15, and my daughter, who is 4. That's Kai, and she is quite the character. So beautiful family. Like everybody looks so connected too. Like, you know, it's nice this when you see siblings and you just kind of see that everybody's in the same cloth, if you will. Absolutely, bro. I made it a point for us to, regardless of what household anyone was in, I made it a point that we made sure to remain close and solid. Not only just in each other's space, but make sure we love, like, you love your brother. You know, that's just the only person and instill values that only I can instill as a father. But 3 children, the same age. One is questioning, are they triplets? G wants to know, no, they're not triplets. I had 3 children with 3 different mothers when I was 18 years old, 17 and 18 years old, with 2 child support orders at the age of 18. Mm-hmm. So those are the boxes that you try to wiggle out of. Nobody's issues, my own decisions. Living fast at a young age. A lot of guidance early on in life, but as life progressed, you know, you get freedom and choices to make your own decisions. And the decisions I made were grown-up decisions at a child's age. I didn't have a father to show me right or wrong, which is no excuse. I had a grandmother, I had a mother, I had an auntie, you know, but a lot of things that I'm teaching my sons, I know for a fact I didn't learn. Mm-hmm. And those 3 children that I had when I was 18 and 17, in hindsight, was literally the thing that saved my life, G. Saved my life. And you just let me know, like, because I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of young individuals, both, you know, men and women, make certain decisions at an age like 17, 18, and
it's nice to hear you speak about how it saved your life, right?
Yep.
But then there's another group of people where things happen around that age and they never seemingly recover. It completely turns and they go down like this road, and it was like things were never the same after this, right?
Yeah.
What I'm curious to hear, just for you, if you can go back to that young man at that time,
Yeah.
like, I can't imagine, how did this even come to discovery that, like, oh, I have one, oh, I'll have two, oh, I have, like, what are you processing?
To be real, obviously I was running around. I was outside, as they say. And it was just like you said. It was just like you said. I had a girlfriend at the time, and that's where my daughter had came from. My daughter's mom was like, I'm pregnant. We had told my mom, and we were gonna have a child, and I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do. And in my mind, I had really crushed my life already, because I aspired to go play basketball in college, which I ended up getting a basketball scholarship to Methodist College. But I played. But in my mind, obviously I wanted to go to college. But a couple weeks after that, and notice I said my daughter, she's the third.
Right. I'm following. Hey,
Okay,
hey, look, for the listeners not listening, I appreciate you clearing it up, but I'm gonna let you go because I'm following it all.
My whole story, this is the thing. My story, bro, I'm not ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? So I would never let nobody not get none of. I give you the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed of it at all, because I'm proud of me today. So to be proud of me today I can't be ashamed of who I was or the things that I did. You feel me? It contradicts itself. So yeah, I had my daughter. So I'm like, man, I got a daughter my daughter was born. She's here. I'm finna go play basketball. The call comes. You know you got a son, right? And then after that, you know you got a son, right?
Oh wow.
So I'm like, nah. And these are coming from other people. This is not coming from the mother of my children.
Wow.
These are coming from other people. I remember confronting one of the mothers of my children, like, I got a son. So
wow. How old was the son at that time when you?
6.
Wow.
I found out one of my sons was 6 years old.
Wow.
Wow. My other son I got to raise from his mother was in Florida. So when she came home when he was around 6, 7, I got a chance to be in his life. He actually came and lived with me for a couple years.
Wow. Yeah.
I know. So and that was beautiful. So I was able to get those years back, establish, a relationship. My daughter, my oldest daughter, the 18 years, she's always lived with my mother, raised her when I was in school. She's always lived with us until her mother was out of school, and then she's lived with her mother. And then we've always been back and forth between me and her, as far as going back and forth, her coming over on weekends. But I've been fortunate. All of the children that I've had, their mothers are great women. You know what I'm saying? They handle business first. Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't ask for a better supporting cast from them at all. After 6 years old, we were all together completely. I knew everybody who had blood for me, and I made it a point to just keep us together. I didn't want to grow up like I did. I got brothers and sisters I have no relationship with, but we're all Facebook friends. And it kills me. It hurts. I didn't want them to have that pain. But yeah, 2 child support orders at 18, that'll make you grow up quick, man.
Yes, sir. Man, I appreciate you sharing that, man, because it's not that uncommon in our community for a couple of things. For one, for people to have, say, multiple children at a younger age, it's not necessarily like taboo. It happens.
Right.
The fact that what is somewhat, I think, taboo is that, and what I applaud about your situation is like you said, you have siblings that you're not even connected with. Like that also too is like not uncommon. I myself, I have siblings. We have relationships, but they're not what they should be as siblings. You know what I'm saying? And so, I'm my mom's only child, but I have siblings on my pop side. And and I'm connected to that, to my family and my nieces and nephews, but it should be better, you know. You sharing that is important to me because we need to talk about this reality more than what I think is out there, because people talk about like absentee father or disconnected family, but it's the impact outside of just the father dynamic. It's the ties to the whole other side there, that the father is there to usher in so that that child is able to connect with all of their, you know, blood family. You know what I'm saying?
You want to know something? I never really had a relationship with my father. You know, when I grew older, I started to sought after a relationship. When I was younger, I was like, man, I don't need no father. I'm grown. Fuck that. You know, he ain't never do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? But I never knew the story from his side. And as I became more older, I started to see things as a man. I say all that to say, my father had children by different women as well. And I woke up one day and I started to look back at what I knew about my father. And even not knowing this man, it began to look like I was living his life. My father I have a brother, my oldest brother. I have three siblings he has three siblings by another one. I have a brother, another brother, and a sister by another woman. And then it's me. And then he has another daughter with another lady. Even not knowing this man, I see that our lives are matching. And after I really begin to see that, I believe in generational curses. I don't know if people believe in that. I'm not trying to go into like, you know,
let's like define what you mean by generational curses.
I believe that, me personally, I just believe that it's things that, whether we can even break it down to just minutes, like whether it's information that wasn't passed down to the next generation and it now hurts them the same way that it hurt the other generation, and then it's information that wasn't given to them and they're getting hurt the same way. I believe that if I wouldn't break the curse and I wouldn't have instilled everything I missed out on into my sons, and if I didn't break the curse and be in their lives, and I believe that the same thing would have happened to one of my sons. They were going to wake up with 4 different children's mothers, one of them, and they would have said, I'm living my father's life. I just believe that. That's just me. And I believe that the curse has been broken. My sons are equipped with all the information and the love that I did not have from a man. And I believe that they're going to go out and be the best version of whatever they want to be. But I do not believe that they're going to wake up and say, I'm living my father's life. I do not believe that they're going to wake up and say, I wish I would have done this differently in certain areas, you know, because no one wants to, not me. If I could choose to have all my children in one house at one time and have been a part of their lives since birth, I would choose that. And I don't believe that any man is just going to say, yes, I wish I would. I definitely want to have 4 different women that have had my children. I don't know of anybody they would choose that plan. But it's just education and knowledge. And I believe that my sons are going to have a different route.
Now I'm this is just because you threw it out there. Like, I'm just got to ask somebody who has some experience with this, like, because some people are what they call, poly, like they're into the idea of polygamy and multiple wives and multiple families and so forth. Like, not saying you personally, just you in terms of just, idea here. Like, do you think that's like in our society something that is realistic, or that something that should be even like promoted?
Honestly, bro, I can't say for everybody, bro, because literally everybody has their own upbringings and backgrounds and experiences. So I do believe that people's experiences are the reason why they are saying these things. Like, it's something that they've experienced that's making, or someone else experience, or they've seen, either way, experience that's making them feel that way. Also, who's to say people might not believe what we were taught, whatever we were taught. In my upbringing, we've always just been taught one man should be with one woman. That's what we were taught. But we were also taught that Christopher Columbus came through and discovered some shit. I was taught that Malcolm X
Touche.
was a bad man. He was just a radical. Tulsa was a bomb was dropped on Tulsa. It was a lot of things that were done that people just did, and they taught us that it was okay. So I then start questioning everything that I've learned once I started learning things that I've learned were wrong.
I think that's important. Yeah.
In my personal issue, I was dealing with the reason why I had different situations like that. I was dealing with things from my past. I was dealing with issues that I had to correct. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I had mom issues that I was dealing with. I was searching for love from women personally.
Interesting.
As a child, right? I learned that as I grew older. I spent a lot of time with myself alone, and I realized what I was looking for that could never be given to me, and I was trying to find that in different women, and it was never enough because it wasn't what I was looking. It's nothing that those people could have given me. Those women could have given me. I was looking for something different. And I just was looking for it differently. So that was why I was in my situations. I didn't. But other people, being multiple. It sounds great if you got 2 or 3 women that's completely on board with it. That joint sounds great. As a man, who wouldn't? I mean,
I don't know if it sounds great personally. I gotta be honest.
I don't
know if it sounds great. Because like my thing is, I feel like if you are now, do I think there's an audience out there where the polygamy multi-partner thing, where it does have its benefits? Sure, everything can quote unquote have a benefit, but the long-term reward and risk in playing it out. So, it's not like a one night stand with multiple chicks, like on some Magic Johnson shit where you just, doing something crazy for a night.
Living.
I gotta be honest. Like, I just look at how I got a relationship with my current wife, right?
Current.
I'm trying to think what that relationship would look like if I was splitting, say, like equal time between like her and like another person, like all seriousness, like where it was like not a secret, but everybody knew, but I still, as the man, I'm still just one man. I still gotta. And so then ultimately I started thinking like, okay, well, like, how do I dictate who gets Saturdays versus Wednesdays versus other day? It's like, nah, I don't think I want that life, man. I gotta be honest.
It's because you're a good person, G. Listen, it's because you were raised with good values, and it's because you care about how other people view the way you love them. Not you per se, but you want people that you care about to know that you care. You don't want anybody to feel like you're getting over on them. I have all kind of friends because I have all different type of just business ventures, and it puts you in a situation to deal with all kind of different people. And in my time, I've learned that it is completely different people in the world. It's people who not only don't care, like the thoughts that you had popped up in your head, they would never not only pop up, but it would be just completely oblivious of why that thought would even pop up. Does that make any sense?
I'm following
you. They don't have the capacity to even think about 3 women. They cool with it? No. They said they was good.
Oh man.
You like, they said they good, but are they really good? That's you.
Yeah, you gotta think that shit through. No question.
I don't think she happy. I'm spending more time with this one and not that one.
She ain't happy. She ain't happy.
She's straight. It's just a whole different, people raised differently. People see different experiences.
That's true.
Dealing
know
with
she ain't
people
happy.
just in general lets you just see the world in a complete aspect of how it really is and not how it should be.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
So it's no for the 3 women for you.
Nah. I would nah.
I can't either, bro. I actually am a hopeless romantic.
Yo, I mean, most real players are. If I have to say, most real players ain't really out here trying to. Because it's like my thing is like, who wants to be unnecessarily stressed, right? Like what like grown man that's like somebody you look up to is walking around looking for stress.
No.
And so how am I going to be at any peace of mind if I'm juggling 3 grown women with needs and expectations? Like, not like kiddies, but like 3 grown women with expectations. Like, come on, man. That's not, one is, you're not even stress-free with one. So
That
now I'm going to have,
you know women very well.
come on, man. That is
Very
one thing
well.
I do know well, man.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
Hey,
man.
only a man who doesn't really know a woman would want 3 of them.
Hey, now I think that's well said, man. I think that's well said. Well said. So okay, hold up. So all right, so got everything together, really taking the initiative. Like, I'm the father. I want to make sure my kids know each other and it's family.
Facts.
So, but then you did meet a partner a wife that you partner with. What was that like? Just like, because you're at a time like, so what was that like where you actually are with the person and it's like, you know what, I think I found somebody to build with. Like, because you something switched at some point for you.
Well, G, I met my current wife, as G says. I met my current wife in college, man. We met at Winston-Salem State. I transferred from Methodist College to Winston-Salem State when I was 18. I wanted to be closer to my children when I found out, I have children, that not just one. So I wanted to be closer to my children. Came home to Winston-Salem State, met a girl. She was hella dope, and she was completely different than who I am, than who I was. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I was an athlete, Bible Belt type dude. I'm dead serious. The first year at state, Bible Belt. I'm like, yo, I'm here to get the job done. I'm going to school. I'm going to work. I'm the assistant manager at Family Dollar right down the street from the school. You know what I'm saying? I'm by the book.
Oh,
If ever there was a man by the book, that was me. And I met my lady, and she was completely opposite of that.
off the
Completely
books, huh? You
man,
said.
but no book. I learned everything from her. Everything. I'm talking about everything.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
Yo, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. So how like what was the attraction there? What made you be a moth to her flame?
That I was like, okay, I like this girl. I really like this girl. She's pretty. Her attitude is dope. She's dope. But why does she smoke weed? Like, she's a pothead. Like, why would she don't mind drink? We're underage. I'm telling her business right now.
Man.
Why she drinking? But she's so cool. So obviously, everything I learned about drinking and smoking, that might not be true, because this girl is the devil, or she's just or drinking and smoking might be cool. So I used to tell her too, bro, like, look, I don't be doing all that smoking shit. Don't be coming around me when you high. Like, I was straight by the book. Like, she was like, this lame. She had a crazy life too. I learned after, she said I was gonna be her person, but which is why she was more advanced. Like, I always tell her, like, she's the only reason why I've ever acquired a love for medical marijuana. It's her fault. You know, I wanted to see why. I wanted to see why this girl that I had so much love for and so was so dope, why she liked to get high, why she wanted to take a sip.
You know, this is unique because most times it's the opposite. Most
Yep.
times it's the opposite. The girl is with the guy and this just smokes all the time. And she's finally like, I want to see what it's like to be in your world. But for you, it was different. That I cannot say that I've met anyone who said that to me. As a guy, it's typically always the opposite. I gotta point that out because that's pretty interesting. That and then when you fast forward, which we can get to, but just she she was literally your gateway.
Yeah, absolutely, bro, absolutely. I'm writing a book right now is literally like the description. I'm not missing a beat. I'm giving you the whole. Might be too much. Like, just get to the next spot. But yeah, she really was. I ain't know nothing about The Wire. You know, The Wire was out. It was the first year it was out. We was in school. 2006, 2007. You know, she turned me on to The Wire. She wouldn't stay at my house on Sundays. I believe it was the day that The Wire came on, either Sunday or Wednesday. She wouldn't stay with me or come kick it because I didn't have HBO.
Yeah, that was a thing back in the day, boy. Yeah, facts.
So I end up getting HBO so she can come to kick it, and then I end up watching The Wire. Got me hooked on The Wire. So she was just extremely interesting to me, and she accepted my daughter. She accepted my son. I was at a time where I personally felt like I was at the bottom of the barrel type. Like it was like a whole bunch of cream of the crop at the top, right? And then I was like, I had kids, you know, I'm young, I ain't got nothing figured out. It was like, this guy's a loser.
No, and that's how, and we gonna keep it a stack. That's if you just put that up and you let a woman describe it, they're not gonna be like, oh yeah, give me that. They're not gonna be like, yeah, give me that. They're not gonna do that. 10 out of 10. 10
He's
out
a
of 10.
loser.
They're gonna
18.
try and yeah. No question.
Definitely a loser, bro. So, and it got to a point, bro. Listen, man. 18, bro. You got kids, man. You hearing people that you like fuck with saying like you a loser. You hearing through the grapevine, oh girl don't want to fuck with you. She said you got too many kids. I don't know what the fuck you was doing. He got kids. I heard that all my life, bro. Like my whole life, bro. My whole life.
Yeah.
And, I'm so glad that I didn't end up with a lot of people that I wanted.
Talk about that, man.
You flash forward, you look at everything that you wanted and you see it on the screen when you scroll and you be like, I ain't here to shit on nobody at all because that's not my story. God saved me. It's nothing that I built for myself that I can ever tell somebody that they ain't this or they ain't that. That's not me. I never put another man down. That was me getting put down. Niggas used to laugh at my shoes. Niggas told me I had too many kids. I really went through it. So I never had the best clothes. All of it. You know, we stayed where we stayed. It wasn't nothing where y'all stayed. I went through every piece of it. So I'm never, ever finna. I don't talk about nobody, I'm telling you, I'm giving you my truth. It's so many people that I wanted that I look at and I be like, Lord, I thank you. I thank you what I wanted, you know?
Yeah.
I look at my wife and I be like, man, why did she choose me? Because she beautiful. And I'm not even saying that, like, if my wife was not beautiful, I just wouldn't even say anything. I'll be like, she chose me and God sent her to me. That's all I say.
I'm not taking no talk back. You see
But
me blink yet?
She that for real. She really is that. She bad. So I be like, why did she choose me back then? Like, and we went through bumpy roads, bro. We went through it all. We done been through it all, bro. Like, I remember when we was together and I found out I had a child. She was on some shit like, bro.
Right.
I was crying.
Right.
And I'm just as lost as she is. Like, but Yeah, bro, we didn't. It's nothing we have never been through, literally.
Yeah,
And
that's dope.
I could never ever. It's nothing that would ever have me walk out on her or any of that. We've been through it all, bro. Like
How long have y'all been a couple?
16 years. Well, we've been. My son is 15. We've been together 16 and a half years. Been married 6 years.
So tell me this, in your opinion, right? Because you have grown as a couple because you met at such a young age and you made it through your 20s and you're into the 30s here. Like those are turbulent times for people to get from 20 to 30,
Yeah.
30 to 35,
Yeah.
and so forth, right? So I'm just like curious from your sense of expertise. If there were, and I know it's tough to do, but if there were like one or two things that you would just say are essential in order for a partnership between two people to work like that over such a time period, like what would be the essential elements that just it's gotta be there for this to have a chance?
We went through every emotion, bro. So and we went through real live turmoil, and it's not our turmoil. Like we went through other people's shit, and we didn't have a mom or somebody we can call. See, not only were we together for those 16 years, we lived together for 15 of those 16 years that we was together. So what I can give you that I know for sure is you cannot take no advice from people who are not in your household. And you can listen to game and people who've been together for years, and you can listen to people opinions who you respect, but every situation is completely different. It's only two people in the household that's dealing with y'all everyday issues. And what I said then, it goes on with the thing I'm about to say now. You cannot tell anybody your business on what go in the household. So that's a two-part thing. You can't take advice from people who ain't in your house, and you don't tell people your business on what's going in your house, because those same people you taking advice from is gonna have opinions on what it's a circle. You telling and they give an opinion. You telling it, y'all gonna have to really want to be together. Love ain't gonna keep two people together. It ain't nothing about no love. It's
About
two
it, man.
people who really gonna have to say, bruh, I don't want to leave this nigga. Like it ain't about no love. It's
man, it's something
what
different.
she do for me and what she make me wanna be, and how she was there for me when nobody was, and how I ain't have nobody to call and she knew that and didn't use it against me. And way more than love, bro. You gonna have to want to be with the person that you want to be with more than you want to not be with them. That's number one. Number two, y'all gonna have to be able to support and take care of each other, man, because that bag ruins a lot of relationships.
Yes, sir.
Most
relationships get ruined because something with the money. It all, like, not say it all, but man, I would say at least half, if not more, like it often boils down to something with that money, man.
Yeah. Me and my lady, bro, we split the bills until we didn't have to split the bills no more. I see, and that's why I mess with her the long way even now, because I hear a lot of females nowadays talking about splitting bills and how they'll never do it and how that's lame and all that. I remember when me and my lady first moved into our first apartment together, I was on some, I'm gonna take care of the rent, and I'm gonna take care of this, and you do that. This is what I said. Now I was busting my ass trying to take care of everything. I was young, you know what I'm saying? Money was, I ain't had no credentials for somebody to give me no job to where I'm out here going crazy eating. Right. So it got hard for and I was running myself ragged, and I went completely broke, and I held a grudge against my lady because I was like, she never helped me, and I was trying to pay everything. But I opened up to my lady and I said, baby, I was mad at you because felt like I was paying all this. I'm trying to be the man. And guess what she said? She said, you never asked. She would have did it. whatever I needed. I just never asked.
Mm,
You know, so then I said, you know what? You're right.
gotta
We
ask.
moved into our second apartment. We started splitting the bills right down the middle. I started making a little bit more money, started coming up. When I got on my feet to where she didn't have to pay the bills, we didn't have to split the bills no more. I said, baby, I got it now. Now I actually got it. I can do it. But when I was still a man, I was still the man I wanted to be. I wasn't where I wanted to be. She still treated me like the man and still split the bills with me. A lot of
Yeah.
people, if you splitting the bill, they want to treat you a little bit lesser than, you know what I'm saying, the man.
Yeah. That's a difference too, because for whatever reason, there's this thing about who makes more, because if you make more, then there's this idea you get to have more say in what happens in the household. You get to control the rules, if you will. You're the ruler of the house because you make more money. I think that is a unfortunate misconception that we definitely got to talk more about, because everybody got a role to play,
Yep.
and that role will not always be dictated by who's making what amount of money. That quote unquote leadership role and what leadership will look like won't always be the same when you're with somebody over such a long period. That everybody's gonna have to step up in their respective areas at some point, and the other person is just gonna have to shut the up and take a
Absolutely.
back seat. Like,
Absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely. I mean, it's never been, if you go back in times and you look at the greatest civilizations, they've never had two kings or any of that. I've personally never seen them have two power and they were king. What do we do? Okay, so what do you think? No, it's cuz gonna say what he gonna say, and it's a lot of that might not like it or like it, but they gonna rally behind it. Me and my lady, she always, first of all, it ain't even her. I'm the man because I'm the man. Like, it's nothing she's gonna be able to do that's gonna have me in any other position at all. Like, if she was, bro, listen, if she made more money than me, I would be elated.
Yo, that's like, yo, yes.
Like, and I would be the man.
Yeah, like, what would we talk about?
There's nobody who can emasculate me with a dollar amount. Like,
1,000%.
I am the man. This is my household. I'm gonna lead it. I didn't say I was gonna run it.
Yeah.
I didn't say I was gonna control it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lead it.
Yeah.
We marching.
Yeah.
I listen to my woman. If I say some bullshit and she don't agree with it, I listen to it.
No
you don't
pressure.
agree with it, I might change. You know what? You right. Or I might have a vision she just can't see yet, and we're gonna go with that. But I'm never not ever not listening to my queen. I'm gonna listen to her. She might be right. I might change my decision, and I delegate very well. I know how to relieve power and give it to her and be like, baby, you in charge. This is your area. It just come with, knowing your battles, and like you said, knowing your role. You know what I'm saying? We got positions. We know what we good at. We've been together so long. I know what I'm better at than her, and it's plenty things that she's better at than me. So
Right.
I just delegate.
Right. No, that's a beautiful thing, man. And so from a family background, already kind of leading to like the entrepreneurial aspect, like using business to work with family, to demonstrate to them how they can do things and take an idea and build it. What type of entrepreneurial ventures are, at the forefront for you right now as a businessman?
As a businessman, man, other than Plug in the Flesh, we got a recording studio that we put in the city of Kannapolis, North Carolina. I have a barbershop that's now next to my studio. And when I say it's a studio, I'm not talking about no hole in the wall studio. I'm not talking about no closet studio. I'm talking about a real studio that you come to, that they got in every video or whatever you envision the studio where your favorite artist is making hits. We got it. We own it. We cultivate artists. We do the same thing all your favorite guys do. The only thing is, you actually know us. So love us the same way as people you can't touch. But look, my my studio is right next to my barbershop, and coming in there, being a fan of my friend who cuts my hair, and just looking at him being an entrepreneur, going from cutting out his house to actually owning his own shop, just being a fan, saying, what can I do, bro, to be like my friend? Because I want to be like my friend who's an entrepreneur. I'm fine with giving people their flowers and wanting to do what they're doing when it's successful. And I'm just saying, like, what can I do to be like my buddy? And I realized that Kannapolis doesn't have a music studio. And the thing that kids want to be the most is music artists.
Yeah.
So I reached out to a high school friend who does construction, gave him my vision. He told me it wouldn't be a problem. He gave me $1 amount, and we built a studio in Kannapolis. Him and I, legitly, him and I built a studio.
So the building didn't exist, or like what was there?
The building was there at that point. This was a tobacco shop, prime location. I'm talking about the traffic coming in and out, the barber shop going crazy. Who goes to studios? People who go to barbershops. So I'm like, man, this would be great if we can just get, the right building.
So the barbershop was already there.
Barbershop was there.
Your barbershop?
No, my buddy's barbershop.
Okay, bet.
My buddy's barbershop. Boost Mobile right next door. What else is there? Game Spot. They got the arcade now where people are going to play arcade. So the tobacco shop ended up opening up. Tobacco people left because they were going next door. We ended up getting a lease, got everything in there, and got going. It became real successful, and it was then that opened a whole nother door for me. I learned about taxes. I learned about actually obtaining money and how to keep it. And that's a thing that us people that look like us don't know about. We know about, it's the first of the year. I worked. I'm about to get my income taxes. I'm about to go let somebody.
Right.
But we
Waiting
don't
on a refund.
We don't actually get into what the person on the other side is doing to get us our taxes. We don't get into what we can write off and what we can actually buy during the year and get the money from at the end of the year. We don't get into tax brackets and what bracket I'm in versus what bracket I want to be in, what bracket I want to stay in. We don't get into that. We just know for a fact, first of the year, give them my taxes. They're going to give me a check, and it's going to happen every year. And the fact that they're giving us that check every year, it make a lot of us say, I don't care what's going on the other side of the chair. I'm on this side getting the check. I don't care what's going on. That opened my life when I found out what was going on the other side of that chair.
And to your point here, because, I grew up similar where tax season was a thing where you knew you were going to get a refund, and there was a like, oh, we got to do this to get my refund. I am now currently, say as a household, tax season is something we don't rush to.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
well, the rabbit got the gun.
Yo, it's like, man, like I do think that just that alone is a mindset that demonstrates like where someone is on a scale of ownership and and I don't want to use that term wealth, but I'll say ownership and financial security, because very rarely are you going to be financially secure if you're getting a refund in your taxes from the government at the end of the year. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like very rare. Like I don't know how many people can really get any type of financial security when they're year over year waiting to get a refund back when they file taxes. So I gotta say, to your point, man, like you unfortunately you don't know what you don't know, but through these experiences, through the willingness to do different things, you take things on and you learn along the way. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. So you started the studio in Kannapolis, prime location. What's the name of the studio for people listening?
The Kitchen Studios. You can look it up online, thekitchenllc.com, the Kitchen Studio 704. Google it. It's going to pop right up. We in Kannapolis, North Carolina. We got engineers, producers, rappers, singers, rock and roll artists, white, black, Asian, plug in the flesh gear on the site, all of that, we'll have it for you. But yeah, that's where we located. And we got pretty much regulars, man. They there, once, twice a week. Most guys we see they're literally regulars. They treat it like the gym. I personally didn't know people recorded like this. Like
They got
people work out.
they in there actually like with songs, thoughts worked out, ready to get to it.
Yeah, I didn't have cats come through, pay for a whole day, a whole block off the whole studio, get in the studio and not record one song.
Yeah.
I have seen it, bro. Just sit there, just writing. Got the game on. We got TVs in there, got the game on. They in there listening to beats, writing. Paid for the whole session. They record one thing. Paid the engineer, everything. And they leave out. I'm feeling bad.
Hey, that's just a part of doing the business, right? Like, that's a part of doing the business. But that's okay. So you got the studio. So, okay, what else? So
after the studio, I realized that my passion, honestly, is business. I've been doing hand-to-hand business since, I don't know. Everybody knows me I used to sell CDs in school, man. I used to sell movies, man. So it was only naturally right that when I became older, I'm multiplying something. I end up finding out I have family over in California. I end up finding out I have family in Oregon. And these family members that I had reached out to, they own dispensaries. And it's medical marijuana over there, but here it's weed. If you're in a city that is not legally or not medical, not rec, as far as the legal side of marijuana, it's just weed, it's just gas. When I got a call from one of my family members and they told me that I had a family member that owned a dispensary, you can only imagine. You can only imagine what I'm like. So I'm like, man, how can I own a dispensary? How can I become, this is my life. I love to smoke weed. You telling me I could smoke it legally without being in any trouble and I could obtain a business from this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, after I found that out, naturally, it was time to meet my cousin. Cousin, how you been? How can I become a part of what y'all got going on? And when I met my cousins, naturally, it's all, as you see in life, you got friends that you love, but they not blood. So it's hard to trust everybody. You might not know this person, but he is your family. Just giving the good energy, you become immediately in a circle, that money couldn't have put you in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And just me being genuine, my family members, they seen exactly who I was, even though we didn't grow up together, even though, everybody wasn't at Auntie Bertha house spending the night. They still, felt the love and the family there. So I was, like I said, even from the jump of this whole podcast, I have been favored, highly. God has been so good to me that I've walked into a lot of blessings that I question, like, why me? Like, what have I done? And in turn, I make sure I go out my way to do whatever I can for anybody that I love, because I feel like it's an unbelievable feeling when you know for a fact it's somebody else, like guaranteed somebody else just looking out, handing you things that you know for a fact that it's just God, bro. But my family actually gave me a job and allowed me to work at their dispensary. I took years off of my life to sacrifice and become a part owner of a dispensary. It's a lot of things that people want to do that I learned, as well as myself, but people are not willing to do the hardest thing I guess it is to get where they want, and that's to put life completely down, put it all on the back burner. I put fun down, relationships down. I didn't have fun for like 2 years. My family, my wife and I, my kids, my son stayed in 2 bedroom, 1 bath. You know how hard it is to have children, bro, and stay in a 1 bathroom house, bro?
Mm,
Like with a woman and kids. And bro, we stayed in a 2 bedroom, 1 bath in a back road in the country.
mm.
Small joint, real small. We in the back taking a sacrifice, watching all my friends ball. I watched all my friends ball. I'm talking about ball hard. A couple of my friends became members of a car club, just pulling out drop tops. And I watched all my friends have a chance, and I rooted for all of them, waiting for my turn. I went to go work, put in hours at the farms and dispensaries and learn, everything it is to learn about medical marijuana, legal marijuana, the business of, owning a dispensary, the money and the taxes, the grows. And I learned everything. I took time off of my life. I lost money.
Mm-hmm.
After the process was over, I gained relationships and I was put in a position to succeed, and everything I lost, I obtained back. But I would have never, ever, ever gotten to, the point where I was able to get to if I wouldn't have put life down for 2 years. I put life down for 2 years.
I think that's important, and I wouldn't say that you lost, because there's a cost to doing business, and in life, sacrifices are necessary. You can't obtain anything without a sacrifice, whether that's a material sacrifice, a time sacrifice. Like, you have to give things up to get something, and so what you had to give up to obtain, ultimately what you obtain is a part of the journey, and that's why it's not a loss, and it's just a cost and expense of doing business, of the life of business. But then when you talk about like that expense, like the fact that you locked in, like I talk about this too, like there was a time period, like getting beneath your means as a financially, as a household, but for a period of time while you're working on something can make all the difference to where you'll never look back. And a 2 to 3 year window of time is enough time to where you just say, look, for these next 2 to 3 years, we're going intentionally below what we can afford to make sure we minimize like any financial risk, and to make sure that in the next 2-3 year window, we're putting all the resources into the thing that will take us away.
Yep.
And so I gotta applaud the household for buying into that, because like we talk about like the willingness to allow someone to lead the family and do things a certain way and make sure that everything's accounted for strategically while we do certain things. Like it takes buy-in, and it takes a great wife, frankly, to have that. So I gotta highlight the fact that not only did you have that buy-in to get that done, but making that sacrifice for a significant period of time, knowing that you were working on the next thing. We got to make sure that people understand that that's often what's necessary to evolve to the next phase of what you're trying to do.
It's crazy that you said that and you dissected that and got that, because and that's why, bro, you really got insight, because this is a true story. The very first time I took my lady to that house, she told me, I'm not staying here. Put that on my life.
Yes, sir.
If she watching this joint right now, she'll tell, well, she probably is downstairs, just to make sure I ain't saying nothing crazy. She probably is right now, but I guarantee you, bro, on everything I love, she said, I'm not staying here. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I don't know where you gonna stay, because this is where I'm staying. That's what I told her, bro. Because I seen the potential in the place and I knew it wasn't, but listen, the rent was $595. So I knew for a fact what I could save. I said, baby, if we save here, I'm gonna let you go pick out something. So we stayed there for 2-3 years. But I would invite my friends over. Don't get me wrong, bro. We're not Bro, my wife is the cleanest woman. Listen, I go to, she's clean. So the house on the inside was legit.
Yeah.
But I used
facts.
to watch my friends pull up for the first time.
Yeah.
I used to watch it, bro. Like, all right, we in the country, man.
Yeah.
We in the country, man. Yeah. It was times I never forget it. All of that, everything that happened in that house, all of this broke and called and get this fixed. I never forget it, bro. We all went through that together, bro. So, I know that everybody in the household appreciate where we stay now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they deserve it. Not only do they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody complain.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody complain, bro.
Man, that's beautiful, man. And we have to normalize that as a reality for most people. And that's the unfortunate thing about social media is that you don't get to just like be like, I'm putting in the work right now and I don't have nothing to show for it. But let me celebrate that. Nobody wants to celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to acknowledge that you're making significant sacrifices to reach a goal, but the fact that you came together with the family and the household to do that, put in the work, and now you actually, what's the fruits of your labor? You can actually eat those fruits, make some pies on the side, do some other things with it too. It's like talk to me about that. Like you went through the grind.
Yeah, bro. After staying there, bro, like I said, we stayed there for 2-3 years. And the reason why we moved, bro, because I'm all in. I'm saving money. We go get married. While in that house, I proposed in that house. We went to Puerto Rico, had a destination wedding. About 20 of our friends and family, 15 to 20 of our friends and family caught a flight over there with us. It was beautiful, something to remember. It was everything, something you could never forget. Came back, I was like, damn, I didn't spend a lot of money. I got to get my money back. So I'm working. My lady ends up coming out of the room one day, and she seen a mouse, and she said she stopped and looked at the mouse, and the mouse looked at her. and the mouse ran off. When I tell you we moved in a week, it was a week later, everything was packed. I was like, baby, we're going to get an exterminator, get whatever mouse is out. I'm done. I'm over it. The mouse is here. I can't sleep at night. It was time. I wanted something. I was ready. I was already equipped. I was just trying to see, my thing is, bro, I grew up, when I grew up, my mom, I never had a pops. And this is not a knock on my mom, because my mom did what she did because she knew what she knew. She never took me to the store and got me name brand things. I had USPA.
Your was actually playing polo.
He was on the horse with the... I never knew that wasn't polo.
Yeah.
Gee, imagine a telling you that's not polo and you know it's polo.
Yeah.
So now you thinking he got a problem with you because he's obviously lying about what's going on. You like, bro, what you got against me, bro? Until you find out from your homeboy who don't got nothing against you.
Yeah.
He's telling the truth, Sean. That's not real polo. Well, why you ain't tell me then?
Yeah.
I'm going to school. I don't know if niggas from our era remember. I had Pro Wings.
Oh, man.
You remember Pro Wings? They pay less. You can only get them in pay less. None of my shoes were it. I had Pro Wings. I got laughed at, but I had a good personality, so I was always cool. I was a funny guy. So I was never like a lame guy. I was just a nigga with no drip.
No sauce. None.
But as I grew up, I was like, why could you do it like this? Because I don't want my kid. I would never see But look, I say all that to say, I never had to have the best of things. Mm-hmm. As long as I knew what we were putting in the bank. Mm-hmm. I never had to drive the best car because I never had the best shoes. Nobody ever said, nigga, you be putting on. I never had these things. So I never got in a culture or a routine of just having. I was more so concerned of really having. Mm-hmm. I wanted to drive this beat up Kia and put the money up. I wanted to live in this house that I know was livable, but I want to make sure the accounts say we strapped, because I'm so scared of going to really not have it.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's pet dog.
Yeah.
And I got people depending on me for real.
Yeah.
So that's where my mind was at. I just wanted to say that to say, like, that's where I was at. You know what I'm saying? I'm in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up moving out and bought our first house. That's when everything started. I mean, once you start to do different things, you start to learn different things. You start learning about equity. You start learning about the money you got in your house simply from just buying a house. These are things that you don't think about when you're living in an apartment. You just don't, because there's nothing to do with you. So once I begin to get put in these different positions, I begin to see different things, and I begin to start actually strategizing and putting my life in places and putting time on things that need to be done, putting a timeline on things that I feel like I wanted to accomplish that is now to me doable. I have the confidence. I have an older sister, G, who really made a lot of great decisions. I'm talking about phenomenal decisions. She literally came back to me and gave me every piece of the game as far as how credit gonna work and how we gonna pull this equity out of here and put you here and let's save this up. Let me teach you real estate. That's my other business. My sister came to me and taught me real estate, how to buy cheap, fix up, put someone in. My first real estate property I bought was in Winston-Salem. I eventually got in contact with the housing authority of Winston-Salem, and they begin to start putting tenants on their waiting list into any property that I would purchase. The money comes on the first of the month, and it comes from the government. Immediately. These are all things that I would have never gotten into if it wasn't for my sister. This is things that I pay taxes on. Legal, good, clean money, things that you don't have to hide, things that you can talk about, things that you don't have to look over your shoulder. It's legal money that is the equivalent, not even the equivalent. It's more than what people would say is street money. It's people in the street you think that's making real money, that's not making more money than people who are making legal money that have gave jobs to themselves, And once I started to see that, the people that I thought really had money couldn't go buy property, I realized I was thinking the wrong way. Ultimately, I had God, but I had a sister and I had family. When it all comes down to it, not talking to you, family really.
Yeah, I was going to circle back to that, man, because, your story, the element of family throughout, and how that's played a unique way of shaping your perspective from having 3 kids around the same age, figuring that out when you figured that out, while having met who was going to be later your wife, building with that person over time. And then she is the person to even introduce you to the being comfortable with this sort of lifestyle.
Absolutely. That you hit it on the money. Go ahead. You hit it on the money.
And then the floodgates open and the universe tells you, you got kinfolk over on a whole other side who are doing certain things related to such lifestyle, to where you can actually take advantage of it yourself. And so you actually got introduced to this through the love of your life, if you will.
It's crazy.
And then your family then took that gateway and then connected you in a way where you actually could learn the from an apprenticeship standpoint, the business, how to like the ins and outs of it, not just it from a surface level, to where now you can actually be, an owner and operator of a dispensary in where is it again?
Portland, Oregon. Actually, also, you can look it up if y'all guys want to get it. See, and the thing is, people don't even know, it's dispensaries out there. You know what I'm saying? Not people know it's dispensaries out there. They specifically don't know it's cookies dispensaries out there. People, when they hear cookies, they just revert to Cali. You know, people don't know you can actually pay to become a carrier of the cookies name and become a dispensary. You know, we know names do it all. You put the Jordan logo on near anything, a couch. You got a Jordan couch in somebody's living room tomorrow. So it's like what you know is going to affect you. You know, we got cookies dispensaries in Oklahoma City. We got cookies dispensaries in Portland, Oregon, owned and operated. You know,
2 cities, 2 states,
two dispensaries. The second one just opened in Portland, so we got 2 dispensaries in Portland, Oregon. Right now, you know, you pay some money, you can partner with anybody. Absolutely,
man.
Like, you know, I upload a lot of footage when I'm in the when I'm there, when I'm down there. You know, Instagram, Facebook, however. I like to show, you know, how business is conducted, you know, there, because people who actually are in love with the business, in love with, you know, the marijuana, people who are actually, you know, really want to know about how things work and have never been to legal states. I remember how I felt before I went. The anticipation, so I'm bringing that to you all the time. You know, I'm taking you directly to facilities, you know, I'm taking you directly to, you know, dispensaries, you know, where it's legal and it's okay to like it and be cool, you know. I'm old 56-year-old women walk in dispensaries and walk out and roll up a joint and puff on it right there in front of the store and have a great conversation. And I'm watching police ride by them and ask them how they doing. You know, I'm smoking joints, talking to the police. You know, I'm walking next to them, and we had a march in Portland, Oregon. It's on my page right now. The Black Lives Matter march. I'm smoking next. We marching hand to hand with the fire marshal and the police, and I'm burning in the other hand. It's a different culture. And it's the reason why you got to travel, because you'll think that the rules and the regulations that was put in your city is completely. I got people who think, you know, the devil smokes weed and it's the worst drug in America, and they go over to these places and I talk to them. We're from blah blah blah, and we're so happy to be here. I thought my son was a drug addict, and now look at me. And I'm sitting here serving these people in the store legally, you know, realizing that education, obviously big, but it's so huge. It's people who would be doing the same thing you're doing if they just had loved the same things you love, if they just had an education about it. And me seeing that is the reason why I make sure my children travel with me. My sons go to the dispensary. They get to have a different education, because it's not about the dispensary. It's not about smoking weed and getting high. Right. It's about opening your mind to someone who's making laws that you have to process in your mind. Is it right or wrong? You can't just let people think for you. You got to remember, at one point, we were 1/3 of a person, and that was a law. Is that a law that makes sense to you?
1,000%, man. 1,000%. All these crazy laws don't make a lot of sense.
You telling me I'm gonna go to jail here, but I can catch a plane for 2 hours? I'm perfectly
even now in North Carolina. I mean, you cross over to Virginia, you're recreational. The silliness of what's recreational, what's not, you know, especially state to state. Too many people who look like us, unfortunately, still get targeted and get taken advantage of due to these rules that criminalize behavior that does not deserve to be criminalized. And so, you know, I do think it's important to highlight just the fact that you don't necessarily have to be in one of these states full time to get a taste of what that industry is like, what that industry can offer. And there are opportunities to be entrepreneurial, to build enterprise in a way that is not what we typically think of it to be in states where you don't have that opportunity to even have a medical, let alone recreational sort of situation. So, you know, I appreciate you just like highlighting, you know, your story is unique in that I'm a big believer in the fact that most people, it takes an OG it takes somebody like taking you under their wing to like give you the game so that you can take the game and run with it type thing. Like, I appreciate you sharing like that's your story, but even outside of like, even if you don't have family in the business, you can seek out mentorship. You can put yourself in position. You can go out of your way and humble yourself and go after it and seek that if it's something you really want. And if you get one person that tells you no, you just go to the next and you go to the next and you go to the next. Like they say, Hall of Famers bat 300. So you just got to keep going, keep swinging.
Mhm.
Until you connect a couple times, man. So I really just appreciate you being on, talking about your story, which is just like, again, man, like the realness, the journey from one stage to the next. And
Absolutely.
it's still not done. It's still going, man. And so I want to start to pivot here and sort of close things out because honestly, this was so rich. I might just have to bring you back on at a later date and go into something completely different because this
It was
was
a soundbite.
yeah, this was very rich and eye-opening and I really just, I'm very grateful that you were willing to hop up here and discuss with me. I'm very curious if you got any sort of like, if you could leave the audience with something to take away just from your point of view. Is there anything in particular that you hope people can walk away with from after hearing any part of this episode?
Um, after just with that being said, if I had to put everything in perspective, the only thing I would want people to take from this, bro, is something I'm very passionate about, bro. Other than business, my business, man, I'm very passionate about that. But that's just something I'm passionate about. Something I would want everybody to be passionate about, bro, is I really fucked up a lot of shit. Gee, really, bro, like, bro. Just sitting here thinking about times that my life could have either been ended or thinking about giving up just all the way through. Like, bro, just waking up and like fighting another day, fam, is big, bro. Because I done been out the country just looking at the sky, just thanking God, bro, and just wiping tears from my face, fam. Because I know niggas who was my age who never even thought about getting a passport that I really love. And I understand being counted out. Like, I understand how it feel to be counted out. Like, I understand how it feel to count yourself out. But I would want everybody to take from this shit that Nick is so cliche, bro. But you're never out the game, bro. Like, Nick can be down and the next year be up more than ever. I'm talking about for real, like really the bottom of the bottom, and everything can change in 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
3 years, bro. Just hard work, dedication, and
Yeah.
God, bro. And I just want to take from anything that I say that if you ever see me, bro, and you see me like having fun, or you see a not having fun, you see me down, just know for a fact, like I'm good. God got me in my bad. God got me in my good. So always stay motivated. There's nothing that I've obtained in this life that's because of things that I've done. There's nothing that I deserve to get. It was all God and just me playing my position. I never done shady shit. I don't do shady things. That come from me not having no money. That come from me not having nothing to me being okay. My character means everything to me. My integrity means everything to me. But I understand, bro, if you ever in a position, bro, you can come up out of that shit easy overnight if you just work hard. That's all I want to understand, because that's big to me, bro. I think about all the time when I hated life, bro. Depressed, bro. Really saying to myself, G, life is really fucking hard. Like, I don't mind if shit kind of like, I'm not gonna kill myself, but if it was over, something else gotta be easier. So it can come out of anything. So that's all I want to take from my whole life.
Man, that's real, man, because when we talk about waking up and having an opportunity, I think that's a great place to leave it and leave it off, because part of the reason why I want to do this podcast is to inject authenticity into the algorithm in a way where we can see something for what it really is and appreciate it versus see something for what it really is and talk about it, because it's not what something fake might portray itself to be. You see what I'm saying? Like social media, I think, has really done our
Youth.
culture, and especially the youth, a disservice in making them think that things have to be a certain way all the time, right? And that there's never any setbacks or failures or dark clouds or days that are going to happen, when in reality, that's the irony and the beauty of the blessing of life, in that you weather storms, you suffer through turmoil and adversity, and you are blessed with an opportunity to figure things out for yourself and to make something for yourself, because you have the time and you have the ability. And so while we're here, what are we doing with the time? Are we locked in, appreciating the fact that we have this time to pursue a dream, to build something and create something that doesn't exist? Right. Or are we focusing our time in destructive manners, where all we do is complain, or all we do is point fingers, and not just take accountability and ownership of what should be done to make the changes we want for ourselves? And you, my friend, a prime example of what that looks like, when you just take full accountability and you own life and you appreciate that blessing to be able to weather the storm and see another day. I got one last question before we wrap this up. Why do I call you Texas?
That's where it all started. Born and raised from Texas. When I first moved down here from San Antonio, Texas, military kid, bounced around from San Antonio, Fort Worth, Houston, Killeen, San Antonio, back. Now I found myself in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, because mom had a job offer here. So here we are. First day of practice. I'm a basketball fanatic, and I'm still raw, hooping in a Pro-Am league in Charlotte. You can get it. Young nigga still getting it. Showed up at and that's a fact. Showed up at basketball practice, showed out at basketball practice, and coach said, "What's your neck?" "Never mind, you Texas." From then on, I was Texas the very next day of school. I got my first handshake. Like, "What's up, Texas?"
And it was that. There you go. Well, yeah, those are the best names, the ones that you don't make up. That's just what they give it to you. That's what's up. That is what's up. Well, man, I appreciate the gentleman, Texas, for joining us. If you're watching live, please go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you hit that button if you're on the YouTube. This is the G Shit Podcast, where we focus on family, friends, finances, freedom, and our future, and everything else. This is the G Shit Podcast. You just witnessed this live conversation featuring the one and only Sean Texas Wilson. Make sure y'all check out all the successful businesses he's got going on. If you in Kannapolis, hit up the kitchen, or if you just in that Charlotte metropolitan area, make sure you go through, show my man some love at the kitchen, especially if you in Portland. When we follow up, I'm gonna make sure I put the links in the description to make it easy for y'all. If y'all in Portland or Oklahoma City, my man got the opportunities for y'all to indulge and enjoy yourselves. This is the G Shit Podcast. We greatly appreciate y'all listening. We're gonna go ahead and play that outro music.
I'm not taking no talk back. But it sounds like you made it. You see me blink yet?
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you, brother. This is the G Shit Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Ha!